Hi, I'm Mackenzie. Welcome to my vlog. Today is Saturday, and as such, I slept in. By Fridays, I'm always so tired. But on Saturdays, we don't usually get to sleep in because we usually have to be up for soccer tournaments. However, today, Maddie's first soccer game isn't until 3 o'clock, so I got to sleep in. Yay! So I slept in, and then once I woke up, I scrolled on my phone a little bit and laid in bed. But now I am up, I brushed my teeth and brushed my hair and got dressed and got some fresh air, and I think I'm ready to go for the day. First things first, I have to feed the cats because they think they are starving. What's up, buddy? No, stay over here. Hi, Lucy. Are you waiting for a turn? Good kitty. Maddie asked me to get her something to eat. She wants some of the stuffed pepper casserole that I made yesterday. She doesn't like the cheese on it, so I'm going to scrape the cheese off. It's easy enough to remove. Breakfast at our house is not usually typical breakfast food. Sometimes, but usually it's just leftovers. We do sometimes eat breakfast for dinner though. Everybody likes that. While that's heating up in the microwave, I'm also going to get her a couple slices of watermelon. That's warm now. Doesn't this look like a great breakfast? I almost forgot to get Maple her food. Poor Maple. I shake it to loosen it up in there so that when I open it, it comes out easier. Oh, good morning, Maple. Good morning, Maple. There you go, kitty. You're so noisy. In a previous vlog, you guys might remember I had a big lucky bamboo plant that I was watering and trimming off some dead leaves and stuff. And I talked about how Joe wouldn't leave it alone and knocked it over repeatedly when he was little. What I ended up doing with that plant was, instead of putting it in a bigger container, I divided it up into individual jars. As you can see, the cats are still not leaving these alone. This one got knocked over in the middle of the night. I don't know if you can see. It really kind of got uprooted, so I need to fix this. I'm going to dump the whole thing out, trying not to break any of the roots. Well, there's some roots that I lost. Even with those breaking off, I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna put it down further in the jar this time so that if the cats knock it over again, hopefully the plant won't actually tip so much and break so many roots again. I'm trying to decide where. About right there, maybe. A few more of these. I'm just gonna use a chopstick to poke some of these roots down in. Okay, that's good enough. Now I'm going to put the rest of these in. There, that's so much better. Just need to give it some water now. It's coffee time. After this, I think I'm going to head out into the yard. I need to get my little pots of pale purple coneflowers in the ground, or I'm worried that they're going to die. I remember listening to a podcast several years ago about productivity and tools you can use to be more productive in your life. And one of the things that they talked about on that was having a most important task. And I used to do that, where every day I would have a most important task and I would get that done and then I would move on to the next most important task. At some point, I kind of forgot about that and stopped doing it. But today, for some reason, when I woke up, that's what was on my mind, was that the coneflowers need to be my most important task today, so that I prioritize that and get them into the ground. After that, I think I'm gonna do some cooking. I need to make a pan of lasagna I made a pan of lasagna a few days ago, and the dog ended up eating like at least half of it, maybe even 2/3 of it. She didn't knock it off the counter or anything. She was just super sneaky and reached up there and ate it all. She also ate a whole loaf of garlic bread. No need to worry, she has a golden retriever stomach. She didn't get sick or anything. And luckily, I have enough of the ingredients to make another pan of lasagna. I also want to make some muffins and maybe some protein balls, just so that we have some snacks ready to go for the next couple of days. And then this afternoon, we will head out for Maddie's soccer games. My first step in planting the coneflowers is removing the grass from this section of the yard. 5 or 6 years ago, the kids decided they wanted to build a pond in the yard. It was keeping them busy for the summer, so I let them have a go at it. So they dug a huge hole, like 4 feet deep in one spot and 2 feet deep in another spot, and probably 5 or 6 feet across. Once they had it dug, they realized that they couldn't acquire the pond liner that they needed. So that was the end of their pond, and ever since then, every time I dig for anything in the yard, I'm dumping it in the big hole, filling it up. I almost finally have it even with the ground around it. I'm all out of the topsoil that I think I should be using for this project, but I found a partial bag of peat moss and a partial bag of potting soil in the garage. And although I know it's not ideal for planting directly in the ground, I decided to use up what I have. Now that I have that step done, I'm just gonna lay them out where I think that they would be good. The tag says spacing 12 inches. So I have my garden ruler. I have 7 plants because I always buy them in groups of 7 because it's lucky. You might want to put them a little bit closer than 12 inches, I feel like, because I want them to really fill in this area. Let's see how the roots look. Oh, not too bad. I thought they'd be completely root bound at this point. I always try to dig down through my topsoil or whatever mix I have used into the actual ground below, because I don't know why, I just feel like that helps the roots get into the ground better. They look so good. Just really going to try to soak it because that potting soil and peat moss that I used has been in the garage for a couple of years and was really, really dried out. I only have 2 of these little covers to spare right now to keep the bunnies out. So I'm just gonna pick a couple and put them on. That one looks big. Cover that one. There. At this point, coming back inside after it had been so peaceful outside, I kind of felt like chaos had erupted. Everyone was up and people were getting ready to leave for the day. I also realized that Maddie wanted to leave earlier than I thought she did, which was fine, but it meant that I didn't have time to make muffins or do any of the other cooking that I had planned on. But I still wanted to get some of my ingredients prepped for the lasagna, so I chopped up the garlic and added it to a pan. I also added the olive oil and oregano right into the pan and stuck it in the fridge so that I could pull it out to warm it up when we got home. And I added the egg and salt and pepper to the ricotta and mixed it up so that that would also be ready for later. We're on our way to Maddie's soccer games now. We stopped on our way to get some snacks. Focaccia bread is a favorite, and of course a Lunchable. I got lemon heads for Andy because they're one of his favorites, and sweet tarts for me, and Maddie and I both got a bubbler. My favorite is wild cherry, and she got the lemon lime. One last thing that we grabbed were goldfish crackers. This was the scene when we arrived at the soccer complex. It was a busy day.
Hi everyone.
We're just sitting and waiting for Maddie's game to start.
Listen to them.
There, Maddie. Good job, Maddie! Be an option.
We are between games now. Maddie's team won the first game, but the other team suffered some injuries, unfortunately, so they were short players. So the game ended early, and because of that, we have a little extra time between games, so I'm going for a walk with my mom. That's Grandma Kathy. And it's a beautiful fall day.
Good pass, Maddie. Unlucky. That was a good pass.
Yeah.
Way to fight for it, Maddie.
We are done at soccer for today. The second game was a loss, but they played a great game. I'm at Menards now. Andy and Maddie ran to Little Caesars to grab some pizza. I'm gonna get some topsoil and try to find something to throw over my plants to keep the bunnies out, and then we'll head home. This is what I need right here. So I'm gonna load some up. I have no idea where this bunny stuff would be, so I'm just walking around, hoping that I come across it. Not here. I found this stuff, and I don't know if it's tall enough. It's 14 inches high, but plus some will go in the ground. So I don't know, but it's half off right now, so I think I might try it. I decided to treat myself to a new one of these things, a lopper. Somewhere around the house I have an old rusty one that I haven't been able to find lately, but I've always just called them trimmers or clippers. I had no idea what the actual name was. Here I wait. I got all the stuff that I needed, and now I'm just waiting for them to pick me up. I can see on Life 360 that they're just sort of across the highway at Quick Trip, so hopefully they won't be too much longer. They got their pizza, and I got my stuff at Menards. Oh my goodness.
Also.
What I have to put up with. We had a great day of soccer anyway. Back at home, Andy did the dishes so that I could make the lasagna. They're all gonna be eating the pizza tonight, but I'm still gonna put the lasagna together and bake it so that we have it for tomorrow. We'll just eat it as leftovers. So I'm going to cook my garlic that I chopped up earlier with my oregano and my olive oil. Just cook it for a few minutes until the garlic starts to smell good. I'm gonna add in my 3 jars of sauce. 1 and 2 and 3. The sauce is good and hot now, so I'm going to start putting the lasagna together. The noodles I cooked yesterday, so they're ready. The cheese shredded yesterday also. This
Mom,
is
Griff says he didn't take it.
the... Okay.
It's on.
Ricotta and an egg and salt and pepper.
Who are you talking
So that's all ready to
to?
go.
Are you talking to yourself?
I'm taking a video. And my sauce. Starting with a layer of sauce. And I'm gonna start with my noodles. I did coat the noodles in olive oil so that they wouldn't all stick together. What do I do next? I do a layer of ricotta. A layer of mozzarella. A layer of sauce. That one's a little bit ripped, but I'm using it anyway. Another layer of ricotta. Another layer of mozzarella. Another layer of sauce. One, 2, 3, 4. The rest of my ricotta. mozzarella, sauce, four. And the last of the mozzarella. I'm going to tent the foil because if I don't, the cheese sticks to it and that drives me crazy. There we go, that will do. The lasagna is in the oven now. That has to cook at 375 for about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to peel the foil off of it and turn the temp up to 400 and cook it for like 15 to 20 minutes more until the cheese is completely melted and it's nice and bubbly. I am not eating pizza along with the rest of them tonight, so I'm going to have some of my stuffed pepper casserole that I made yesterday. The lasagna is done. Look how good that looks. There's just one last thing that I wanted to talk about before I head to bed, and that is homeschool curriculum choices, because in my vlog last week I mentioned that I was still looking for what I wanted to use for history, for high school history, and I just wanted to share that I decided to go with Build Your Library Level 9. Build Your Library is one that we have used before and I really liked it, but in the past we used it for all of the subjects for the school year except for math. That's something we had to add in separately. But I was thinking about it and I decided that it really is a very flexible curriculum and it's really easy to pick and choose what you want to use it for. So I actually decided to go with it for history and science this year for Griffin. I actually had a separate biology curriculum that I was going to use, but I decided to save that for next year and to use Build Your Library for science this year. So here's a few of the books. It's obviously it's called Build Your Library, so it's a literature-based curriculum. There's a lot of good books that you get to read and get to use. This is one that I got that already came. Looks like it has lots of good experiments that we'll be able to do. So that seems like fun. This is another one of them. I think this is one of the spines for the history, I think. Don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. The Practical Geologist, another one. This is obviously for science. Prehistoric Life, a DK book. It's nice and big and thick. This is definitely a spine. Looking forward to that one. And then we have a couple that I got from the library. I'll probably end up buying them, but at this point, we're just using them from the library. A Brief History of Earth. Seems interesting. And you can draw in 30 days. So we're going to try that for art. That looks like fun. And that is all that I have for today. It's late, so I'm going to head to bed now. It was a really great day. I hope that you had a great day as well. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.